So, Tantra.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because, in this new age world, there is a lot of these topics like astrology and tantra and all these things. Everyone have heard about them somehow.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like a little bit trap that we are like, okay, first we are just like, we are ignorant to anything spiritual. And then we get to know some things, but we get to know them in a really surface level, like also with the tarot and things. Like there is so much depth in everything, but then we are like, oh, there is something, now I believe it. And it's the same with Tantra, right?
Yes.
It's like there is so much information, and now I see that Tantra have become something where people are like, oh, like how much different pleasure you can experience, or how you can manifest something, or make your life amazing through that. But for me, Tantra is the true death, the actual death, like of persona. It's when you find a partner, only one partner, not like this tantric craziness, like I have a million partners, crazy. Like when you have one partner and you both devote to actually get in connection with your inner lover, let's say, and you help each other to delete all those layers that doesn't let you to be whole within yourself. So in a way, it's like +1 and -1 become 0, and that's the actual Tantra, becoming 0. And people normally don't like, why should I get 0, or why do I have to, like, I want something more. But the true Tantra is actually truly like dissolving and eliminating a lot of these egoic patterns and using this force to get rid of things that are not truly us.
So that 0 is like emptiness in Mahayana or something like that?
Well, even deeper, like you just dissolve. There is like emptiness, but there is also everything at the same time. But this for me, like, there is glimpses. I'm not living it as a reality.
Yeah, of course.
But it's something that I truly see that the sexuality, in a way, like everything you see in this society is somehow distorted. It's not natural. And Tantra actually is just a natural sexuality that we have lost in a way. It's something really, it's like childlike, because when we are kids and we come to a contact with first time about the topics of sex, it's somehow like, what's that? But actually, if it would be really natural thing, which it should be, no one would feel traumatized or weird about talking about it, because it's like,
sure.
We should just see another person, not of their body, but just like who they truly are, their true being, and be connection with this being, whatever what they look like or whatever, So it's truly how to find sexuality where there is no lust. There is still really much fire there, sexual fire, and this fire will become.
Could you explain, like, what's the definition of lust in this?
Lust? Well, it's easy. It's like, I want something out of this sexual connection. I want to get orgasm. I want to feel like whatever, like experience. I want gratification. I want other person to want me, or I want to whatever, like something there is there.
And what if you're, sorry, I'm struggling. What if your want is not me to getting something, but you getting something? Is that still like not good enough?
There is still behind that is still like, there is some condition there normally. You have you have to go deeper and deeper and see what's there. Maybe it's like just need to be loved, or need to be,
I'm feeling that if you get pleasure because I give you pleasure, I'm getting
then
nothing.
I'm valuable somehow, or there is many layers. There is many layers,
yeah,
but like, but if it's just that, like, we feel some energy between us, and then this energy can become something more, like the fire becomes light is the most beautiful way to see it, I feel. Then that is starting to heal the whole organism and also the inner layers, so we start to become more aware. So it's like it's a really beautiful thing to actually experience with the partner, and I wish like everyone could experience it, because it's just something so humbling and beautiful to get rid of these things that are in us. But also what people do who start with it, they normally are like, okay, now I have to like play that I'm this like a really I don't know, I'm this priest, this goddess, but actually it's a journey between the couples normally, and you really have to face what are there distorted, and you have to work it through and meditate with it, and really then transform into, at one point you don't feel this way anymore, that you want it. It's just something that is like a flower. It just starts to blossom like in a natural way.
Sorry, I'm asking more questions because it's like I see what you're pointing and just try to like see it
Yes.
in reality. So like in this practice, like for example, there is there is penetration but no orgasm, or that completely is out of the window, like the physical exchange of like energy in that.
No,
ways.
the sexual intercourse is sexual intercourse. There is
It
no orgasm.
still happens.
Yes, it
Okay,
still happens.
Okay. It's just
So-
no regular.
Yes, it's
Biological
just like,
orgasm.
yeah, you're not losing this energy outward. It is really much like this energy is starting to like becoming light that penetrates everywhere.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so many questions.
Well, everyone can do their research, but I really recommend to just look into White Tantra. And there is a teachings by Samael Aun-Weor that are going really deeply into perfect matrimony, and how like, and these teachings also give many different like techniques and how the couple could work if they both want it, as well. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
really
of
want
course.
to work together in a spiritual path, and that's also something really beautiful. Like we have our solo, like we have to work with the egos and things, but also as a couple many times there is argument, but now we are not almost like arguing with each other, but we put it on the table and we are like, we both attack that together, like we are becoming a team to get rid of it. And it's
That's really
completely
interesting.
different new way how the couples can be, because there is not this like
You did this. I
attack
did
towards
that.
each other.
Yeah, a wisdom that my mom always told me is like, you never argue about the person, you argue about the situation. And she's always telling me this since I'm a kid. Of course I didn't listen, but now I do.
Mothers are so smart. Mothers know it all, always.
Yeah. Yeah, they know a huge lot. Yeah, my mom tend to be right a lot of the times in this type of like very pure wisdom of life, because they just know for some reason. I don't know if because they know you so well, they have like this sense intuition that is like very beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to ask you as well. So if one gets into this path, I mean, I guess it. Of course, it's alive. You want to have kids, like that you can have orgasm for that purpose. I presume, right?
Well, that's something. Yeah, it really depends. Like, first of all, it depends what someone wants, the aim. So for everyone who are on this path of understanding oneself, they have to create first aim. Where do I head to? What do I actually want? Because maybe person just wants to have a balanced life. For example, like, I don't know, I'm sad or I feel anger. I don't want to feel that way. Then they can do some practice and they get into the balance, and then they're fine.
That's it.
But if you have some deeper longings into this path, then there is also more things that appear. And the same is with when someone wants to have children. Well, truly, who wants to have children is the question. Because the deepest thing is like, I think having children, this is like a gift in a way. And if everyone would just, have a natural sexuality, then still like people get pregnant through that. In a way, you could say that the Virgin Mary or all these things, like there is not only in Christianity, but also in Buddhism. Buddha's mother was a virgin, and the Quetzalcoatl, like in a Mayan text also, like the hero twins, their mother was virgin. Like all the traditions have this thing that the mother was virgin. It didn't mean that mother was completely virgin.
Yeah, like
it meant that the sexuality was pure and it was born with, so that there is no family karma there, so that the soul actually comes individually there. You don't have to start purifying all the family karma. But when it's pressed, like in a way that like we want to have a children and then we do everything for it, and I know people don't like this answer, but that's how it is, then they will bring someone in and they also share all their baggage that they have it.
Yeah, of
but
course.
if it comes as a gift because the couple really wants wants to be together and they're open for a child, then it can come through the alchemy or through the sexual union, which is pure. And then, well, if you think about the Earth situation, we have so much population. I think there probably would not be so big problem with that if like we would let it be, so that it would happen naturally. But now if someone wants to get pregnant, they don't, then they go to the doctor, then it will be done. Like, you know, it's forceful. And I think everything that's forceful comes from ego.
Yeah, that's you made some interesting points there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like, like right now the system like needs people to be born, but that doesn't necessarily would need to be the case. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was just like watching you talk, and there was like so much beauty in the way you express yourself. I mean, you did something like this, and you look like a portrait of like some these things that you see like in the thumbnails of videos of like find divine sexuality, and you will see Kairi like like doing this. No, but truly, I mean, it's. I deeply wish this for myself as well, and for everyone really. When you really find something that is beautiful and good, you really want it for everyone. I think we can have more of that. So the other question I was having while listening to you is like, so if a couple want to start this, is there a necessity from one of them to be like already initiated, or it can be like an explore path?
Everyone can start this straight away, but it's really important that both will meditate as well. Like the focus is to clear and clarify the mind and to actually like change for the inner change. And if both are like, then it's experimentation. I'm not like trying to sell some idea here. It's like every couple have to like find their own way and experiment with it. But let's say you say, okay, for 3 months, we are not getting orgasm. We are just experimenting what happens if there is this like connection and what is starting to surface. Because for women, it's a lot like, you know, the bodies have been like so sex objected that it's beautiful when actually there is like, wow, I'm not used. It's just like actually like being in love together and growing this love. It's almost like how I see it is that the couple starts to build the inner temple, and the energy that starts to like formulate there with this practice is like that there is a more deeper, unconditional, unattached love. And that's super beautiful.
And when you say meditation, which, I mean, because I know that we're both like Vipassana practitioners, but we could frame it in a more big, so it needs to be a type of meditation that it's about to clear your, like, what are we?
Well, if I say meditation is just like complete relaxation of the body, feelings and mind, and then we can either be in this relaxed state where we become like infinite, or just like concentrate on like a point, or just like kind of bring more awareness into the body like Vipassana does. But for example, if I have got angry during the day, really got angry towards someone, it's also possible to take this scene and really like record it, and then later in meditation you take that and you are looking at it, what actually happened. You're not only doing it with the analyzing your mind,
but you're actually bringing back the anger.
You're trying
like the sensation, I mean.
Yeah, you try to really see, okay, like the anger was in my chest. I was like, you start while you are angry, you really try to observe it and be like, it's on my chest. In my mind there is like, he was bad, like you start to see all these things. You register it, and then when you go into meditation and you relax, you look at it, and then maybe you're like, oh wow, like from my childhood I had this situation, and that's why it comes. It's not even connected with this person, it's from that. So everything starts to happen. Like in Vipassana it happens quite often as well, that you do the practice and you just get those like clarities why something happened. But if you have something really special in your life happen now, you can also just focus directly on that thing and really comprehend like what happened, like why did I got so identified with the situation. And normally they are all coming from our childhood. There is of course deeper patterns, but normally it's like childhood stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems like a practice that is, yeah, it has the vipassana thing of like really like the awareness on like the really feeling and observing the sensations, but there is also like an analytical part in intertwined in that of like trying to, through the observing, see what comes up in the mind and be like, okay, maybe this is where this comes from. I guess from there, once you see where it comes from, I mean, I don't really know. Is it like just the process of just observing that fact and eventually it dissolves away?
So when you have worked with it yourself, then you can take it actually together with your partner, you can share it, and in the bed you could actually then like truly focus on that, and you could feel how it will be eliminated. Like all this sensation is just moving away, but it needs to be comprehended before. It's not sure. Just like, oh, I'm having sex and things go good. Like it's actually like it's a force that's then directed and completely helping to eliminate these layers.
Wow, so interesting.
But also we have to understand why this knowledge have been hidden so long, because it is immense power in it. And people who are just trying to feed their egos, that might go really bad. So it's so necessary that one really wants for a change. They are not doing it for themselves, but for the others, that their life around them could become better. They are not just, well, it's basically white magic or black magic. Black magic is only for me, and white magic is then like for the humanity, for everyone. So if there is this that I really want to make things better in this life and with my becoming better person, and there is this really sincere way of working with oneself, then I think one can apply this technique. But I think in every method, in every school, the first stop is like purification. We have to purify the mind quite a lot, and then we can go into deeper practices like this one.